Well, today's video is going to be a little shorter because I started capturing just now. We got wow, that's an interesting one. I initially thought it was song thrush, but no, definitely not song thrush. Wow, that's interesting. Well, sometimes there are weird blackcaps that do sound like a different species of Sylvia, but I believe that this doesn't sound like blackcap. It doesn't have any specific motifs of the blackcap. So I haven't heard it in a while, but my sort of identification on this one would be Sylvia. And now the second name is Sylvia Borin. Yeah, it's a garden warbler, and it sounds kind of similar to a blackcap, but Drake. But it is sort of more chaotic. It kind of sounds like a marsh warbler a little bit. And it's kind of like a blackcap that is in a rush, you know. It's like a blackcap that needs to catch a bus, and it's like, oh, I gotta sing this song, and then there's this I gotta tell, and you know, it's kind of like very, very rushed and sort of chaotic, and there is no particular flute-like ending. The blackcap always has this like. It can be a little chaotic and rushed in the beginning, but there is always this kind of clean, clear, flute-like ending, like, you know, this, and then it starts again. But garden warbler is kind of rushed, and it continues to be rushed. It doesn't have these pauses in between. See, that was the flute-like ending of a blackcap. The beginning is always kind of like messy and chaotic. Yes, but it always comes into that flute-like part, the motif at the end. Garden warbler doesn't have that, and it's more chatty, it's more chaotic, it's more rushed, and less specific. And that sounded like it. Sometimes you have a blackcap that does that for a while, and then it throws in the flute-like motif, and then you know, oh, that is actually a blackcap. But we stayed there for a while, and it didn't really throw in the flute-like ending. So I believe that could have been garden warbler, Sylvia Borin. And I've actually heard it a couple times there in the past, in the previous years. So I don't know if it's not too early for it to arrive, but I don't think so, actually, because I've already heard Sylvia Kuruka, which is is it lesser warbler? No, I don't know. I don't. Hold on. Lesser white? No. White throat? Is it white throat? Maybe it's white throat. I'm not sure, but the Latin name is Sylvia Kuruka, and I already heard that one, and we've already heard blackcap. So garden warbler is pretty much the last. Oh, and there's the. Oh, yeah. There's lesser white throat, and there's white throat. So I'm maybe talking about lesser white throat, because then there is Sylvia communis, which is a slightly larger one than this one, and I haven't heard that one yet. So that's kind of the last one that remains. And then there is Sylvia Nisoria, but that one's very rare in around here. That one, I don't see Drake. That one, That one I only heard a couple times in my life. Like, I can't see Drake. I've only seen it about 3, maybe even just 2 times really. I once caught it while I was ringing, so I saw it up close. It was a female, and I think I've heard it about once or twice over the past, how long? 8 years, you know? So that speaks for itself. Where the hell is Drake? Oh, there he is. Okay. I've heard some sounds there. It sounded a bit like chewing, so I was like, huh. Yeah, okay. Cool. So yeah, that one is the rarest, and it likes different habitats. But Sylvia curuca, Sylvia communis, Sylvia atricapilla, and Sylvia borin are the ones that you can hear around pretty often. With Sylvia borin, the garden warbler being probably the least common of these most common ones, and blackcap being the most common. Yes, but that one there, I believe, was a garden warbler because there was no flute-like ending. But then again, I have to say, blackcaps can sometimes be very confusing, and they can really sound like a garden warbler, and you have to stay there for a while and listen to it. And if for a no, there's something. Drake's running after something. Is he or not? No, he's not. Yeah, he's... Yesterday, after I ended the video, he disappeared for, I don't know, I feel like 30 minutes at least. I went home, I waited for him, and he completely disappeared. He was running around like a maniac, and I was calling him, but he didn't listen. And yesterday evening, we gave him another shot of Librela, you know, after 2 months. So he can, it's like, so for right now, he doesn't feel any pain. So he can be pretty, I guess he can be even more pumped up right now, because he's really not held back by any pain at all. So yeah, I don't know, man. Yesterday I just like continued on, and he got caught on. I could whistle and scream on top of my lungs, but when he's on it, there's really no point, you know. So I think it's a waste of breath. Yeah, so sometimes I just gotta put a disclaimer out there. Sometimes you really have to wait there a little bit to make really sure, yes, that's a garden warbler, because there are some confusing blackcaps. In fact, I've heard one blackcap, I remember, that sounded exactly, it was doing even repetitions, it sounded exactly like a song thrush, almost exactly, and it was totally different that a blackcap should sound like. So clearly there are some individuals that simply learn the song just differently, you know, they incorrectly, you could say, and they're not singing as their other members of its species, you know. And I think it can be pretty problematic for the bird, because it will have a hard time to find a mate, because the females will not respond to these calls, because they don't know it, they don't recognize it. And there are birds like that. I've heard strange yellowhammers, I've heard strange chaffinches. It happens sometimes that they just don't learn the song the way it's supposed to sound like. With blackcaps, I think it's a more of a sort of a improvisational, some like sort of organic, I don't know how to put it, but it's not like a defect, sort of. Usually it's most likely, most of the time it's just the blackcap being a bit more chattery, you know? And you have to wait a little bit to hear that clear and specific trademark motive of blackcaps, you know? That's the thing. So if you hear something that's like a little bit weird and you are like, oh, maybe it could be a green warbler, garden warbler, wait there a little bit. Wait like a minute or two. And if you don't hear that flute-like ending, then you can say, yeah, that is a garden warbler. Is it great if you can get a visual on that bird? Because blackcap is very specific with the brightly black, well, with the, you know, contrast of the black cap. Or yeah, it's actually, if it's going to be singing, then it's a male, then you're going to see a black cap. And if it doesn't have a black cap and it's like a, you know, brownish greenish bird, then you know, okay, that's a green warbler. Green, garden, not green, garden warbler. So if you can get a visual, that's brilliant, because then you'll know, okay, that's definitely not a blackcap. But if not, then wait, listen to the song, and if it's rushed, chaotic, it doesn't have the flute-like ending, then yes, that's a garden warbler. So that's just a disclaimer there, because sometimes you can feel like, oh, that's definitely this, but you know, not always it is that way, especially with birds like blackcap. Other birds, I mean, you know, if you have a chiff-chaff, you have a chiff-chaff. There's nothing to really, chiff-chaffs are always chiff-chaff. There's nothing to, you know, but for instance with a gray tits, and I already talked about that one a couple times, that one can be extremely confusing, because it has variation of its classic song. There are like 30 or even more variations of that, so sometimes it can really confuse you. Even if you're an experienced birder, ornithologist, it can really confuse you. So wait there for a little bit, or ideally get a visual on that bird, because that can be really confusing. By the way, yeah, that's what I was talking about. This is the work that the harvester done here. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's how it's supposed to look, but yeah, I don't know, it seems like a mess to me. And it's not the worst of it, by the way, but yeah, that's the work of the harvester. It actually cleared a whole nother sort of path through here. And yeah, it cut down quite a lot of trees. I don't think they're finished yet. Maybe they are, but it feels like they still. Oh, there was a deer. Saw that? A roe deer. Yeah, seems like they might still have a lot of work to do. And it goes all the way down. And we're gonna cut through here. And yeah, and they're cutting down healthy trees apparently. There's a lot of dead ones lying around there. Not seem to be that interested about those, but maybe they are, I don't know. Some of them are cut, yeah, so maybe they're gonna take the dead ones too. Oh wow, it's really chilly today. It was the coldest day, as I mentioned. It was -3 apparently in the night. And right now it's about 0, and my hands are really freezing. And unfortunately, yeah, some of the things on the garden froze, like mulberries and cucumbers and some tomatoes in the greenhouse. But fortunately, according to the forecast, it was supposed to be the last heavy frost. And then there are going to be 1 or 2 days with just 0, and then it's going to go up to the 20s, and it's going to be warm again. But unfortunately, -3 is quite a heavy hit for almost the end of April. So yeah, some plants and some trees, and I'm afraid like it had to impact nesting season as well, because there might have been chicks hatched already and they're vulnerable for these low temperatures. So that sucks, really. Yeah. And it's very, very cold right now. It's gonna get warmer throughout the day. See, that was the flute-like ending on the left. There is a blackcap. I really believe that was a garden warbler. We're gonna hear it in the upcoming days, and we can listen to it and reconfirm it. But I would say 90% that was a garden warbler right there. Anyway, see, that's what I was talking about. Look at this mess. Yeah, I mean, if you check my previous videos, you'll see how it looked before, you know? And yeah, and how it looks now. This is where we can't even go through here. Christ almighty. Yeah, and this is the oak I was talking about. This is where we were, you know, doing our pull-ups on this branch, which is now broken. This branch here, and look at what they did here, you know. That's one of those things that if that happens, and you know, it's a young tree, of course, but I think there's a possibility it might not recover from this, you know. I hope you will make it though, buddy, but yeah, I mean, that's a large wound, you know, and then a mushroom can set in and you got yourself a problem. Jesus Christ, what the hell? What a mess. Christ. Why here though? Like, what is... Huh. It's strange. Really weird. Yeah, well, that's just how it goes, I guess. Not if I would own the forest though, and I would never touch any tree at all, man. Ever. If I would own a forest, I would just like let it live its own way. I would make it a ancient forest. And yeah, like absolutely. The only tree I would probably touch would be some, if there would be some non-native species, like acacia or something, you know, like something that doesn't belong there, then yeah, I would probably touch that tree, but that would be the only tree I would touch. Yeah, otherwise I'd just leave it like it is, and I would make it a beautiful oasis for a species. Cut down some beech, I see. It seems so random. Like, why would they cut this tree down, for instance? You know, why? Like, that was a completely healthy beech right there. Yeah, and that's the tree then when there's the cavity. So I don't know if they were like, oh, they ruined the root for here. Okay, cut down some larches, cut down some oak. I don't know, man, it seems incredibly random to me. But I don't know, maybe it's just me. But at least they didn't cut down the one with the cavity. At least something. Anyway, yeah, what a freaking mess. Remember, here I always stopped by and there was like a cover of branches and everything. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. This is how it looks like now. Oh, well, what can you do? Anyway, so that's that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Signing off.